Hi, guys. This is Miss M, keeping it 100. Now, before I get to the topic at hand, like my video, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification button so that whenever I put out a video, you'll be notified. Now, listen, guys. Listen, the world today is different. It's different than it ever been probably in your life, and I know in my life. You know, I walk all the time. I've been doing it. It's my regiment that I do every day. Everybody in my block knows me from walking for years. I park my car wherever. When I come home in front of my door, and then I proceed to walk. I try to do it in the morning, so that when the kids go to school, you blend it in, but I might be across the street from them because it's more safe that way because of the kids. Um, so you think. But listen, the way the police cars are running up and down and chasing people and stuff in front of schools and stuff is just not right. Listen, I know that there's a lot of crime going on in your city, my city, and almost every city. There is no place to escape. These things are happening now. They got a war going over there and with Russia and Ukraine, and it's sad, so sad about that. But there's also a war going on right here in our country, in our neighborhoods. It's a war. It's people shooting at each other all the time. There was another incident in the city, uh, in the another borough, but still in it's part of my city. At the Family Dollar, there was 20 or 30 people fighting. Come on, we can't even go shopping anymore. You know, we can't walk like we used to and feeling gay and free without hearing gunshots or thinking somebody's going to shoot at somebody and you become a target. People are driving like madmen. There's always wrecks and crashes going on. You know, young kids gang banging in the schools. Now listen, I live in a small city, but it it and then things like this just didn't happen here. We would read about this in the bigger cities, but now mm-mm, it's right here. It's right in our neighborhood. And it's sad. 9-year olds are shooting and killing people. It's a sad time. It's a sad, and what are we going to do about it? And this is everybody's responsibility. When you can't walk down the street, or you can't sit on your porch. Spring's here, summer's coming. And the neighbors they sit out. Because it's hot in the house. You have air conditioning. Well, people still want to get they still want to get that sunshine and that air. Let me tell you something, guys. Every time you hear a noise, you jump because you don't know. Now, I'm sorry, I have never seen this world like this. The fighting, the arguing, the disrespect. Nobody cares about anybody anymore. And a lot of people don't, they want to talk about these things. It's all right. I'll talk about celebrities and things like that and talk about things that it's funny and things like that. We're going to do all that kind of stuff. But I just think it's important to keep talking about these stories. How can you not? How can you not? It is in everybody's family now. Somebody then got shot. Somebody then got killed. We just had 2 people get killed in our city. A man and a woman. Somebody shot them. We had 2 people in our downtown area just got shot. One in the stomach, one in the head. These are some gruesome, very gruesome news and details. But we can't overlook this. We can't turn our heads. When you walk and you got to look over your shoulder. No wonder everybody's so jittery, nervous, and tense. You know, to me, I think that I don't know what I think. I really don't. Some people say, "Oh yeah, things have gotten so bad, since the pandemic that things been going on before that." But I'm inclined to agree with them. Is it something in the air? I don't know, because see, it's hard for me to fathom that young kids are running around with guns and their minds are not developed, so they can shoot them guns and don't have, they don't care. Hey, listen, families, let me tell you something. There's too many of us crying. It's too many of us crying over our loved one who's been gunned down in our cities. It's a war in our own city, our own backyards. So I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how we fix that, but we got to try. We got to make our kids be accountable for what they do. And I said this before. If your kids live in your home, you are allowed to go in his room and any other room in your house and search your house thoroughly. You got to put your foot down with these kids. If you wanted them to live, if you love them, you better put your foot down. Keep them away from certain people. Know where they are at all times. I mean, we gotta all pull together. This is just not the one person's responsibility. It is all of our responsibilities. Everybody love their kids and their grandkids and want them to thrive in life, be something, get married, have kids, be successful. Being successful in life is living the life that you should live. I'm not saying that about a whole lot of money or whatever. Just make sure that your kids get an education and they'll be able to do better in life. The education, these kids need to be educated on these violent tendencies. They need to be educated on what guns do to people, which they do know what they do to people. They got to be educated to know that if they shoot them guns and kill somebody, they're going to jail for the rest of their life. I mean, I don't want to go to jail for the rest of their life. Somebody say something to me. I mean, what I mean? I'm like, okay, because you're not going to get out there and argue with somebody and they're going to pull the gun out and shoot you. Hey, listen, you got to know how to walk away to live. Now, listen, guys, this is part one of this here story. You know, I'm going to do another part because I think that we need to talk about these things and stop running from them. Stop putting earplugs in our ears and trying to tune it out. You can't tune it out. It's there. And we're getting fed up with all the violence that's going on in the world. It's time to speak out and say something. And this, like, I'm so sorry well, that's too bad. And, it happened to somebody, and it can happen to you. I know. I know. When you let your kids wander around and do anything that they want to do, they don't have any structure. You the parent and you supposed to put your foot down and know what your kids are doing. Listen, let me tell you something. This whole thing is out of control. It makes me sick every time I hear about somebody getting killed. It does something to me. And it will if you have somebody in your family that was close to you that got murdered. You don't want to have to experience something like that. It's horrible. I know. Listen, guys, it's terrible for little kids running around talking the language that they're talking, even little girls. Let me tell you something. I watched something one day that just turned my stomach. I seen a mother, a daughter, cousin, aunt, sister. They had a house party. The kids was like maybe 4 or 5 and on up. They had the children. It was like a turking party. They all was turking their behinds, from the baby girl to the grown up. And it just was sickening. It's sickening because you're going to, let me tell you something. To see it, you had to see it to believe it. And I don't know. I guess, they thought it was cute. And then they put it on Facebook and it brought tears to my eyes. That is something that you don't want to teach a little girl. You want your little girl to grow up with respect and people to respect them. This all starts in the home. All this here stuff starts in the home. And parents are not in the home. They got to work. Okay, yeah, I get it. But when they come home, people need to start sitting at the table eating together so they can hold conversation, so they can know. Get to know your child because you don't know them. The first thing you want to do when somebody tells you something about your child, you want to go get your gun and shoot them because they told you that your child did something. Man, what an example to show your kids. So listen, this is part 1. There's going to be a part 2 because, you can't talk about this enough. I know this ain't a conversation for everybody, but it will be when it happens to you. So let's hope that it doesn't happen to you. And let me just put it this way. It will be if it happens to you, not when it happens to you. If it happens to you. Hey, I never thought it happened to me. I ain't ever think nobody would shoot my grandson and kill him in the street. I ain't think that. I never. You hear about that with somebody else. And so, let me tell you something. If you love your children, you better get it together. Because you might get that call that we got. And I don't wish that on anybody. So listen, guys, this is part 1 of me talking about this. And I'm gonna do a part 2. But listen, guys. Again, subscribe to my channel. Like my video. And I'll see you the next, and hit that notification because when I put out another video, you'll be notified. And listen, guys, be safe and be blessed. See ya.